Hey everybody, Virginia McClain back with more Victoria Marmot and the Meddling Goddess. I'm about to read chapter 11, and I'll dive right into it since I'm about to upload. I think this is the third video in a row, and there will probably be 4 that go up today. I am both trying to make up for the fact that I haven't uploaded a lot of chapters recently, and the fact that a number of these chapters are kind of short. So, here we go with chapter 11. Oh, but first, when last we left our hero, Vic had just gone upstairs with a wolf in tow and opened a door, and she was sort of expecting to see Edic back again because she'd heard a noise upstairs, but instead she found someone who was not Edic, or as she called him, Creepy McStalker Pants. So, here we go with the start of chapter 11. Gwen? I asked, unsure where to start. What the are you doing here? And why didn't you just stick around earlier if you were just going to show up again? If you don't want me around, I can leave. Gwen stood up as she spoke, wiping imaginary dust from her spotless leather leggings. I didn't say that, but, you could have come and knocked on the door or something instead of appearing here in my bedroom. Or even, I don't know, called me like a normal human being. Phones are a hassle. You were busy with the cops and I didn't want to disturb you, and I dropped something up here earlier. That sounded like a blatant lie. Right. Suddenly, I was glad that the wolf was here with me, even though it should have scared the crap out of me. I kept my field hockey stick raised, just in case. I was just looking for a light switch when I ran into the end of your massive bed. Oh? I guess that explained why she'd been on the floor when we'd come in. Why do you have a king-size bed anyway? Because I like to spread out when I sleep. Why do you care? I don't... because I like to move stealthily, and the damn thing knocked me on my ass. I don't see how that's the bed's fault. You wouldn't. Mind telling me why you're here? Gwen just leveled her emerald eyes at me and stared until I blinked. I have a message for you. Okay. She flipped her fiery hair over her shoulder and looked pointedly at the wolf. Just you. Seriously? He's a wolf. Who's he going to tell? And besides, I don't really trust you at the moment, so I'd rather he stayed. Thanks. It might be insane to trust a wild animal I'd just met more than another human, but it had a bad streak with humans lately, and I'd never had a wild animal do anything I wouldn't expect it to do. Well, okay, yes, except this wolf following me and seeming like he was listening to me, but you get what I'm saying. Fine, he can stay, but I'm still casting a silencing spell on the room. A what? A silencing spell. Am I supposed to know what that is? I think the name is fairly self-explanatory. Yes, but the name implies, magic. What tipped it off? The word spell? Yeah, but since magic isn't real, I assume you'll explain what you're actually going to do? Who said magic isn't real? Everyone? For the last 200 years or so? Little girl, didn't your parents teach you anything? I didn't bother to reply, simply because I wasn't used to arguing with crazy people. If Gwen wanted to believe there was magic, how on earth was I going to argue with her? It's like when someone says that you can't prove to them that there aren't invisible, teeny tiny, weightless unicorns who become insubstantial whenever you try to touch them, dancing on your head right now. You can't disprove that kind of thing, you just know better. Gwen gestured around the room, and then her eyes glowed a bright green for a few seconds. That weirded me out, but I wasn't sold on the idea that it was magic. I mean, you could buy all kinds of fancy contacts these days. I knew a girl who would put white contacts in her eyes and go sit in the park for hours at night just to freak out the neighborhood kids. Books need their hobbies. So, did you set up our cone of silence? This is not an episode of Get Smart. You sure? It kind of feels like one. Gwen just glared at me again. I felt that was an unfair number of malevolent eye gestures in my direction when she was the one who had abandoned me after I'd been attacked and the one who had broken into my house afterwards, making me think my stalker was back. I tried to return the glare, but wound up merely squinting. I probably looked like I had gas. "Want to tell me why you're here now?" I said, when I'd given up on the staring contest. "Are you sure you're ready? Wouldn't you like to sit down first?" she asked. "Gwen, for fuck's sake, just tell me." "Tomorrow, the triangle will be complete." And that's the end of chapter 11. And now I'm off to record chapter 12. And yeah, you may notice a bit of editing in the middle of this video. My daughter came in to talk to me for a second while I was in the middle of recording. So there's a splice where I left off and came back. But I'm off to chapter 12, and I'll then try to get all 4 new chapters up. And then, if I can manage it, I will also try to re-record chapters 7 and 8. All right. See you in the next one, folks.